What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Alright, first and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who I learned from. Healthy Shalom to the whole for elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. To you rips, to you sisters out there learning in silence and staying in order, right? And to the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered abroad, right? That we know on this side of the hemisphere, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? But they do encompass all nations, right? Because we scattered abroad, right? I say to you all, Shalom. This video is, Esau in his natural state, man. It's become a trend to them to come back to, eating meats like this, right? They're the only people, right? I wouldn't say the only people, but the people that are known to eating red meat, all bloody, right? We know we got Moab and Ammon eating all kind of raw animals, the testable, plates of things, right? But as far as this bloody meat, Esau's synonymous with, right? So from the beginning of time, right? And the Lord has it that, he gives us hints and clues as to, who are these wild beasts today, man. Like, so we could point out in the scriptures, man, who he is. This is that bloody man, right? Since birth, right? Because when he was born, right? This is Genesis 25:25. We like to bring this one out, right? And this verse here is important because everybody before him looked similar, right? Had the melanin, right? The features, right? But when it's spoken about this person being born, it was different than everybody else before him, right? It says, and the first came out red, right? He came out red. It came out a certain color. When he came out of the mom's womb, he was red. How red was he? This is my question, right? A rhetorical one. It says all over. So he was red all over like in hairy garment. So, the Christians will say that he was just hairy, right? And red. They don't even say he's red. They say, oh my God. It's real simple, right? And the first came out red all over like in hairy garment. And they call his name Esau, right? So they were comparing him to a garment, right? A fussy garment, right? Because back then they would take like animals, fur, and dye it different colors, right? And they would use either, bugs, right? They have this red dye in it. They'll crush it up and dye the hairs, right? Or they'll use different forms of dye, right? But they was just describing how he came out was different than everybody else. Not only that he came out red, but he also prefers his meat red as well, man. The Lord likes to do a double-edged scripture sometimes. And sometimes it has to come out twice, man. Sometimes 3 times for understanding, right? So when we go down to verse 29, Jacob was cooking a stew, so to speak, and he just started cooking it, right? Because the meat was not even cooked all the way, right? Verse 29, and Jacob saw the pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint, right? He was hunting, right? Because he was a hunter. Right? That's another trait that Esau Edom has, right? Verse 27, let's go to there. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, right? That's why they have dead animals on their walls for trophies, right? You got dead animals everywhere showing you how a cunning hunter he is, like something to brag about, right? Right, we'll go back to 29. And Jacob saw the pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Verse 30, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red porridge. Right, he knew it wasn't even cooked yet. You saw that woman in the video. It says, for I am faint, therefore was his name called Edom. Right? It says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? Right? But, Christians will say that, he tricked them and this and that. And that he just basically stole his birthright, but that's not the case. Right? This was predestined before they was even born. Right? In fact, let's get that in Romans 9. And 11. It says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil. Right? It's plain and simple. That the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her that the elder, which Esau came out first, which would make him the elder, right, shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Right? So before they was even born, the Lord had him to be wicked, to basically serve himself and give up his birthright for self gratification and pleasure and not pleasure, but just to save his life, man. Right? But the elect of Israel, right, the Lord's people will never do something like that. Right? And that's why it says in Matthew that that it was going to be there's going to be a great deception in the future, that it may possibly, if it were possible, fool the very elect, but it's not possible, right? Because Yahweh himself said that those that the Lord have given me, and none shall pluck them out of my hand. Right? But Esau is different. Esau is self-serving, man. He's the bottom of the barrel. Right? And he was born to be this way. Right? The Lord formed him this way, and Christians have a problem with this. Right? Because when we jump down to verse 21, it says, has not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Right? These talking about nations, these vessels, right? These vessels are people. This is the context of verse 11, right? Being not yet born, haven't done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election, right? These people are elected to be dishonorable, right? Verse 22, what if God willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endureth with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, right? Created for destruction. This is what Esau's purpose is, to be destroyed. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15 and verse 7. For the potter tempereth soft earth, fashioned every vessel with much labor for our service. Yeah, of the same clay he maketh both the vessels that serve the clean uses. Right? Because some vessels hold water, right? And Israelites, right? This word is truth, it's specific to Israel, right? So some vessels will hold clean water, right? And likewise also all much Salakia, and likewise also all such as serve to the contrary, right? Other vessels that serve the other side, right, which are peoples. It says, but what is the use of either sort? The potter himself is the judge, right? So is a purpose why the Lord had created these different vessels, man, because they all had different uses. The Lord needed Esau to be born to carry out his some of his judgments and swords, right? Because we have to be punished by Esau, Edom, because we went off, right? But there's going to be a time where his purpose will be null and void, right? He will no longer be needed, and he will be discarded. Right? Yeah, I just making it plain and simple, man. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the GMS who I learned from. And a healthy shalom to the hopeful elect preaching his word in truth and sincerity. And to you ribs, and to you sisters out there learning silence and staying in order, I say to you all, shalom.